Wow, that's hot. Good morning. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. What I want to talk to you about this morning is buying your way to safety. Will it work? The answer, in short, it could, but probably not as well as you think, and you could probably do it a lot better yourself. So let's get to that. Viking, was it Jay? Sent me an article that I was going to comment on anyway. It was on Drudge. I think it's still on Drudge today. And the headline on Drudge is something like Washington, D.C. elites are preparing for doomsday or something like that. And it's an article about Fortitude Ranch, which I was going to talk about before, but now that it's up in our face, I guess they're forcing me to. There's a similar idea that I did talk about. Someone bought a big underground cave facility near Atchison, Kansas. And during World War II, it was used to store secret stuff, and it has access by road, rail, and the Missouri River, which is kind of cool. And they sold it, and a dude bought it, and his plan was for a whole lot of money, you could have a place to move your RV into it in times of chaos. And so people are doing this. Why are they doing it? Lots of reasons. But the first and probably primary reason is to make money, right? And I don't have a problem with making money. I don't have a problem with having a business and, making that work. It's a free country. You can pay money for whatever you want. Why is it working? Because people are sensing a disturbance in the force. And they're looking around and they're going, crud, we need to do something. And they feel helpless. And they are used to, as good American consumers, buying their way out of problems. I'll throw some money at it and it'll go away. Why should I change the oil in my own car? I'll just pay somebody to do it. Why should I worry about, having a car that's going to get old and I'm going to have to put it on Craigslist to sell it when I need a new car? I'll just lease a car. I'll just throw money at it. That's why these year's worth of food packages that vary in price from $600 to $6,000 are so popular. People just want to throw money at it and then feel like they've done everything they can. That's why you can go buy a bug out bag already assembled and ready to go, for hundreds of dollars. Blah blah blah. People would rather throw money at it than do it themselves. So let's talk about Fortitude Ranch, shall we? There's a cute little video. I think they have a website that I looked at before. I haven't looked at it recently. And if you go to Drudge, you'll find it. I don't have the ability to find the link and put it here. And no, you can't put links on the channel. You can put it in the community section. You can link away in the community section. There's some good conversations going on there. If you look at the main page of Viking Preparedness, in the middle it says posts, and then over here on this side it says community. Click on that. It's kind of like a forum. And I kind of let you guys run wild within reason there. But anyway, Fortitude Ranch says, you can buy your way in, and a lot of people are misunderstanding. I was reading the comments under it. They think it's only $1,000 a year. That is not true. You have to pay an initial entry fee, which is huge, and then it's $1,000 a year to maintain your spot there. And that $1,000 a year, quite frankly, is probably just for maintenance and things like that. We're thinking about doing something similar here at Shofar Mountain, but with a different twist. But my understanding of what's going on at Fortitude Ranch is they've bought 2 properties now. They're starting to develop one, and they need investors to come in so that they can develop it to the level that they say they're going to. And basically, you pay a set amount of money. They have this weird Bitcoin thing that they're trying to get going too, which I think could get them in trouble. But you can come for your entry fee or whatever. You can come hang out in their bed and breakfast, which is a lodge. Just picture a lodge, with bedrooms and showers, and they're all nice and cozy and woodsy looking. You can stay in their lodge for vacations. They're going to plan on having certain times during the year training events that you can come to. That's good. But in the event of disaster, You get a place in one of their bunkers. And again, if I'm misstating something, okay, whatever they say is what they mean, right? You should probably go watch it yourself. But they say you can come stay in their bunker. There'll be a year's supply of food, and they've designed this facility so that you can guard it from marauders. And there's a fort, and there's guard towers, and people will be assigned. This is the first warning bell. People will be assigned tasks. And from guard duty to working in the garden to dun 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 dun, and by the cadre who's on site, kind of thing. Okay, some huge issues. We'll start from simple and go to complex. If you look at the shelters that they say they're providing you, man, they are like 1950s bomb shelters, meaning there is no space for anybody in those things. And I get it, right? I get it. But there is no space in those. Those aren't the beautiful rooms that you get to stay in, at the bed and breakfast. It looks like Auschwitz. It's just like bunks inside this dark, dank cave. That's one. They showed some pictures of the construction of these shelters, and they're basically corrugated steel that they bury with dirt. They're not treating the steel. They're not putting like a black coating over it. They're not laying a membrane over it. They're just putting dirt on it. Those things are going to rust out. That's two. Three on the shelter. There's not a lot of dirt on. They even call them shallow shelters. It looks to me like there's maybe a foot or two of dirt on them. That's not going to protect you from much. And so you're going to be in this dank little cave, dark, with not really any fallout protection anyway. So what are you really getting there? That's one. Two, this is going to sound parochial. Whatever. Don't depend on an Air Force guy to devise your ground tactical plan. I'm sure I know the Air Force is very good at what they do. Air dominance, right? Got it. They're even in space now. Cool. There's a reason that we don't fight our land wars, our land battles commanded by Air Force generals. The guy who's doing this project is some retired, I think, reservist Air Force intel colonel. I'm sure he's very smart. But man, he's very proud to show a picture of his, during peacetime, it's the gazebo for the wine and cheese party, and in wartime, it'll become the guard post. Okay, it's an awful guard post. I could shoot through it with my .22 rifle, and it's not even very big for a wine and cheese party. You couldn't have many people in it. It's like, yeah, no, dude, that's not working. They talk about a 500 meter, I think 500 foot by 500 foot fort that they're building. Call me skeptical. Fixed fortifications are monuments to man's stupidity. Who said that? Patton? Talking about the Maginot Line, I think. Yeah, no. But so that's a problem. Their tactical situation is not great, but it's better. Now here, let me give them a plus. It's better than you trying to go it alone, if it works. That's a huge if, though, man. You should tell people when I preach and there's an if, you need to circle it and underline it. If it works. Because here's the deal. Let's say my wife and I, let's say it's not my wife and I. Let's say it's Bob and Sally buy a membership there, and you buy a membership there, and George and Cindy buy a membership there. First of all, because it's going to cost a fair amount of money, you're not going to have a whole lot of 30-year-olds and younger coming. And by younger, I mean like 18, 17 to 30 years old. You're not going to have a lot of them. Warrior age, right? Wow. They're doing some serious work on my border over here. I need to go check that out today. Bulldozers, trees falling, that kind of thing. But I digress. All right, so you're not going to have a lot of young people. You're going to be thrown together with whoever you're thrown together with. You don't know these people. You haven't had time to form any kind of meaningful relationship with them at all. You don't know if they're not just weirdos, just weird, strange people. And that's a potential problem. You know, there's this whole thing, I've done videos on it before, um, forming, storming, norming, performing with a group. It's the cycles a group has to go through. And bottom line, those cycles take time, they take effort, and they take dedication to get through. And then at the end, you're performing and you're having a group. You don't want to be going through that forming, storming, norming, performing while there are bad guys running around, or while people are dying of plague and stuff like that. And so it seems to me, the Fortitude Ranch, like a decent idea that needs more expert input into it, which is probably going to make it more expensive. The things they don't know are glaring in their presentation. They talk about isolation facilities, and they show a hobbit house underneath their gazebo, and they call it an isolation facility. No, man, no. Um, Another thing, you will get there and you will work for the people who are running the ranch, the cadre. That's my word. I'm not sure if they use that word. Okay, hey, unity of command. Somebody's got to be in charge, but you're signing up to be the private under a general who you don't know, and they are going to tell you what to do, and they probably have thought that through a little bit. Do you really want them in charge of you? What do you know about them? You know nothing about them, except that the guy who claims to be in charge doesn't have much tactical sense. Um, and I'm sure he's a nice guy, but um, so so you're joining together with people you don't know, under leadership you don't know, and you're hoping that you're going to make it through what comes. Um, their gardening plan doesn't sound great. They say, we'll start gardening. Okay, well, I'm here to tell you as a homesteader, you needed to start gardening a year ago, 2 years ago. These things don't happen overnight. Your little box of seeds, a rake and a hoe is not going to get you through the apocalypse, right? These things have to be in place and working now. So it's better than nothing. I'll give you that. It is better than nothing. It could work. Group dynamics being what they are. It could work. It could also be a disaster, right? You can do better. It's why I tell people, it's like, do you want me to offend a bunch of people? Understand that sometimes I speak with a little glibness and I'm not 100% serious, but there's a hard truth under there because I'm going to say this. I told my kids, all three of whom went to college on scholarships, not to join a fraternity or sorority because that's just for people who want to buy friends. Now, my son ended up joining a fraternity. Hey, he paid for it, not me, and he liked it, but he's not hanging out with them now. You can try and buy your way into a survival group. I'm telling you, I don't think that's a great option. It's probably better than having nothing, because it could work, than having nobody, being alone. But really, you would be so much better off if you just took the time to form a group, join a group now that you actually do things with and hang out with and work with and train with and practice with and worship with if you're into that. And like I've said before, you need to pick what's most important in your life, whatever that is, and then find other people who value that also. If the most important thing in your life is you, well, there you are, sitting all alone in the woods with nobody around you. There's got to be something more important than you, because you ain't all that. So yeah, what unites the people at Fortitude Ranch when they all show up during an emergency? They all have money. There's good and bad to that. Most people in America with money, which is a relative term, relative concept, but most people earned it and saved it. And so that goes to a certain level of character. Glaring exceptions, yes, I know. But most of them have money. Most of them are forward thinking to a degree, um, in my opinion. Most of them are way too naive, um, and lack the intestinal fortitude and the go-gettedness and the tough grit that made this country what it is, because they'd rather just buy their way out of a problem than solve the problem themselves. Why not create your own community? You can do a better job. Get with 5 people, go buy a piece of land, start developing it. The level this guy's developing